episode 111, Kourtney Roy's Kryptic. That's Kourtney with a K, Kryptic with a K. The year's 2024. The place is John's bedroom and Josh's closet. The time is the aforementioned episode 111. I don't know what I'm talking about. John, how are you?
I'm fine. Well, yeah, everything's going great. Nothing bad is happening again in the world, which is good.
It's good.
My friend just said that he looked out and saw that his yard was really tall.
Oh,
hadn't been cut in a while.
I had the same thing.
Oh, so he called the guy, and the guy was like, "I'm sorry, Mr. Ben, but all my guys were deported. They had all their papers, and they were still taken."
Oh, shit.
So that happened. And now America is great again.
And now America is one big, beautiful nation.
With tall grass.
Thank
you, Donald Trump.
Yes. Yeah, the guy that mows my lawn just hasn't shown up in like a month, and I just realized that it's probably time to feel worried about that dude, because no bueno.
I know. It's just, it's a great time to be an American.
Yeah.
The country has completely shit the bed.
Yeah.
And, but that's okay, because it's not okay.
It's not okay. It's not okay. In fact, it is another episode of Loathsome Things, a horror movie podcast, where now we suddenly find ourselves in a situation that I really felt like we were going to avoid, where it's like, at what point do I become a bystander to the bad thing happening instead of just, oh no, the bad thing's not really happening? Like, I feel like for me, the thing that woke me up to it's actually happening was the fact that Alligator Alcatraz wasn't like a funny idea that assholes had on Twitter. It was an actual facility that they built in 8 days, and it's like open for business. That's fucking scary.
And in the first week, it floods.
Oh,
right up to the boundary of the area that's slightly elevated to house the concentration camp and parking lot or whatever.
Oh my god.
So, yeah. And now that the NOAA has been slashed, and he's not allowing them access to satellite information or something, so if there's a hurricane coming, they'll have hopefully less time to prepare. And even if they knew, they probably wouldn't move the people who will then drown. Great.
Great.
Yeah. Every day it gets better and better.
It's, and yet, the big headline that I saw, I think it was one of, the news publications that have also shit the bed, like The Atlantic or Vox or something, where their big headline was, "The Democrats should become the pro-porn party." It's like, okay, no one cares about the porn thing right now. We've got kind of a bigger deal going on.
Jesus fucking hell. Oh, it's so bad.
Yeah.
And then, you've got like the New York Times reporting on that when Zoran Mandami filled out his census thing or something, he put Asian and African American. Like, it was obviously an accident.
Yeah.
But apparently that makes the New York Times so liberal.
That's good stuff. Yeah, I was reading about that. It's because he's from fucking Africa, and he was like, "This is stupid. Y'all's way of sorting people is bad, and you should feel bad." So.
Yeah, he was born in Uganda, so what do you want him to put?
Yeah. Sorry, I know that Africa's not just one big giant jungle desert.
Well, but the government doesn't.
Yeah, exactly.
Unless it wants to deport you, in which case it suddenly is really aware of what Africa is.
Yeah. And which ones. It's great.
Yeah, it's fantastic. So how are you doing?
I am so fucked up, John. This is not cool. it's not cool that this is going on, and I'm not happy about it anymore. Like, for a while, I was like, oh, this is just, like, it'll be fine, I'm sure. Like, it wasn't that bad the first time through. It was more embarrassing than actually tragic. And, like, a lot of the ways in which he was tragic before were the same ways that, like, Obama and Biden were tragic. But no, it's starting to get heavy and unpleasant, and I don't like it. And, it sucks. But it's good to talk about horror movies instead of the things that ail us.
That's true. And with that in mind,
Oh, yeah.
which horror movie will we be discussing today?
It's Kourtney Roy's Kryptic, the one that, you've all been waiting for. I have actually been waiting to talk to you about this for a month, because we recorded one day before I saw it for the first time, and couldn't wait to talk to you about it.
Yeah, it's a weird one. But I enjoyed it. We'll get into it, but it's definitely a very strange film, but has some interesting ideas going on that we will discussify.
We will. Kourtney Roy is the director. This is her first feature film. She did not write the film, but she did direct it, and the film she cooperated with the writer. Like, he wrote a film based on what he thought she would want to contend with. And she is actually, like, her art of trade is photography. So she has published, like, books of photography. She's very, like, noted for her Lynchian style of photography, and really likes putting people into, like, weird, subversively hyper-typical situations. Like 1950s suburbia is very much her like crazy color scheme. So you see a lot of it come through in this movie.
Yeah, that totally makes sense. I mean, the film has a pretty strong visual style. I'm sure it probably didn't have a huge budget, but it looks very pretty. I mean, there's some really beautiful shots in it, and some cool lighting and, camera work and stuff. So, I mean, and I could see that she's definitely visually minded. I mean, it's got that going on.
Yeah. And if you go to the IMDb for this movie, in the part where it has, like, photos of the movie, it's actually just a photo shoot that she did for all of the cast, and so they're all, like, posed and, like, very fashionable and strangely lit. It's interesting. So it's a cool place that this movie is coming from. But it also goes into some weirdness. The movie stars Chloe Peary as the woman. You might call her Kay Hall. You might not. It's hard to say. You might recognize Chloe from her roles in Department Q, Under the Banner of Heaven, The Queen's Gambit, and Black Mirror.
Yeah, I was surprised to see she's a Scottish actress, because I just figured this was like a really small Canadian effort, that they weren't, actually pulling accomplished actors from other countries. But no, I was wrong.
Yeah.
She's actually got a lot of work under her belt, and it shows. She's very good in this.
Oh, yeah. And she completely carries this movie. Like, this movie is rarely not trained on her face. Just
yeah.
It's basically just following her face around a variety of scenes, and she nails it. She compels this movie forward.
Yeah, and it has some spots that we'll get to that I thought were a little kind of like, but she gets us through those. Thank goodness. That
Thank God.
So yeah, she is a very welcomed addition to the crew on the cast on this film. So yeah.
Yeah, and speaking of a welcome addition, this movie goes from just barely having Jeff Gladstone in it to all of a sudden having all of Jeff Gladstone in it, and it's fucking great for that. Jeff Gladstone you might know from absolutely nothing you've ever seen or heard of, so don't even bother about it, and he shines in this movie quite glistening.
Yes, he does, literally.
And then there's just a whole bunch of like Canadian TV actors that all did a great job. Like when you go through their credits, they're in like a bunch of cool stuff, and like I didn't feel like anyone here was a weak link. Everyone like was on board for the weirdness and like really put it out there.
For sure. Yeah, they all the way out there.
Yeah. It's very weird. So yeah, if you like David Lynch stuff, I definitely think you'll enjoy this. It's a little bit like Extro, you know?
Yeah.
It's very much in the Beau is Afraid and Abruptio vein of movies. You might even think of it as a feminist Beau is Afraid, but not quite that reductive.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely tapping into the kind of the I couldn't remember the word I was trying to come up with, but it's more, like kind of crazy stuff, like like over the top performances, and but it serves the story, so it's it's like kind of campy and almost like Trailer Park Boys at one section.
Yes.
And but hey, that's Canadian, so it all works.
Yeah. This movie lets you know right up front that it's in British Columbia. We're in the mountains. We're not quite in Bigfoot country, but we're close. And so we're going to be spending a lot of time with people that would be hanging around that part of town.
Yes, it's very Log Lady.
Oh my god, it's so Log Lady. I would have been so happy if there was just one lady holding a log. We came close, but not quite.
Not quite. We were certainly in the neighborhood.
One town over.
Right.
Do we need to go over anything else before kick into the summary?
I don't think so. I can't think of anything, no.
All right, I'm going to get into it. There's this lady. She is attending the Woman Walking Club's inaugural event of hiking to Crypto Peak in the British Columbian mountain stuff. It's real pretty. Background, let's go. She tells herself she's gonna make new friends. It's what normal people do. You are a normal person, she says to herself in the car. The location they're hiking through is famous for being the last known location of Barb Valentine, a cryptozoologist who went missing in these very woods while searching for the Suka. What's the Suka, you might be asking, which is the type of humor that we get in this movie. It's a big, hairy tooth and claw cryptid, but more recently has been reported as some sort of a metaphysical thing. So, this movie is going to be normal.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. All of the ladies are wearing pink. It's very visual. It's also... This movie does the Napoleon Dynamite thing where nothing is from the same time. So, they're all driving circa 2000 cars, but the town is very 1970s, and then by the end of the movie, we're going to be in the 1950s. It's very strange, but I like it.
Yeah, that's true, it is. It does. It's like It Follows, where it feels like you're in the 90s, but everybody is using this weird, near-future electronic device that isn't really a thing yet.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay, why? Oh, doesn't matter.
Yeah. the clamshell touchscreen phone. I love that thing.
Yeah, that was awesome. Yeah, this movie gives off a Cuckoo vibe. Did you see Cuckoo?
Oh, shit, I did, but I don't... Oh, yeah, where she's bicycling, right? And that thing comes out and gets at her?
Yeah, she's in Germany with her dad, and her dad and mom have split, apparently, and so she's on I think they just moved there, I don't remember, but they're in the Alps or whatever, and there's this weird supernatural thing going on out in the woods, and this,
that's right.
It was very strange as well, but in a more kind of serious vein. But yeah, it kind of reminds me of that a little bit.
Yeah. And it's funny because this movie is super serious. It's just not serious for a long time too. It weaves in and out of it. in a way that's super uncomfortable. Like that, I guess that's a good warning. Now's a good time to tell you, you're gonna be uncomfortable watching this movie.
Yeah, if you're not into goopiness and tremendous amounts of gummy white fluid, then you might have some trouble.
Oh yeah, if you don't want slimy hair in your mouth, you're not gonna have a good time watching this movie.
It's correct.
And so the woman wanders off and encounters the Suka, which she catches on film, but then the murky white snot goo starts coming out of her ears. She, like, runs off. She goes to the bathroom of the campground and washes all of the gross goop off of her ears and the hair that was next to her ears when the goo exuded. It's real gross. And then she catches up to the group, who apparently, for them, it's like an hour or two later, and they've been searching for her this whole time. It's the inaugural hike, so no one really knows each other, so they go down the little roster again, and it turns out that she's the missing lady named Kay Hall. She's as surprised as anyone to hear this, but she's not really good at speaking up, and no one really seems super interested in her from that point on, because they can all just go home, because they're just pissed at her for, like, screwing around.
Yeah, ruining their walk.
Yeah. You stupid bitch is the type of thing that they might say, but don't, because this was directed by a woman. So she uses context clues to find her car. Like, she beeps her car. Oh, that one's my car. Inside her car is her purse, and it has her driver's license. There's a picture of her. It says that her name is Kay Hall. Oh, look, a pack of cigarettes. Thank God. But then it turns out she's not actually good at smoking cigarettes. So she just sits in her car and has a bad time. She uses the address on her driver's license to find her way home. It turns out that she lives in a, like, gaudy grandma core cottage piece of shit, and she just, like, hates it. She's just, like, looking around like, ugh, and she starts trying to figure out who she is. She's like, she gets a call from a colleague saying, hey, can you come in? We have an emergency extraction, and this person's thing is all fucked up. And she's like, I'm a dentist, and then she, like, heads to the office, and it turns out that she's a vet. She's like, I'm a fucking vet, and there's this whole thing where the vet guy has blood all over him, and he describes, like, a splattered cat and guts everywhere.
Guts and nerves and everything exposed.
Yeah, I was like, oh, this feels like a reference to another movie, I guess? I don't know, but it's fine. So she...
May.
Huh?
It was like May.
That is it! It's just like May! I didn't put it together. Yeah, she has that whole scene where she describes that's good. Nice. Good memory, sir. Thank you.
I didn't think of it until you were talking about that scene, and I'm like, oh, that totally happened in May, didn't it?
Yeah, that's the one. Oh, thank God. So she starts researching Barb Valentine, who is the woman who went missing up at Crypto Peak. And turns out that Barb looks exactly like her to a freakish extent. So she starts retracing Barb's steps, and along the way she befriends a variety of women who teach her a wide range of lessons about identity. It's very the 5 Mauries you meet on a walk in the park. You've got your, Dante's Inferno feelings here. You've got your Alice in Wonderland. You've got your Odyssey. It's all of those. It's that kind of, these ladies. One of them is a magician and gives her a magician's robe that makes her feel all differenty and stronger. Another lady's just like, oh yeah, you should totally embrace being alone and running away. There's a lady who talks about the Suka and how it took her daughter. And that's when we start to get this idea that maybe the Suka is a representation of, like, rape men, and
yeah,
yeah,
shitty masculineness.
shitty masculineness, yeah. While
Yeah,
we're learning about all of this and exploring all of these themes, we also learn about Barb's husband, Morgan, who is a renowned child psychologist. He raises a collection of orchids. He devotes his time to charity. He loves her, he misses her, and he just wants her to come home. He cries a lot, and he is intensely off-putting. Like, they're filming him, he's got, like, a leisure suit with, like, a full-blown cravat going on, and they're, like, interviewing him on a white picket bench in his flower garden backyard, and it's just real bad. Ooh, it's not a good thing.
no.
She, with all of these women and other people, she gets drunk a lot on a lot of different kinds of beverages. Whenever she gets drunk, she gets flashes of a woman in a red hood in the forest. They become increasingly Suka involved, and then they get slimy, and then they get sexual, and then they get slimy and hairy and sexual, and then they get slimy and hairy and sexually violent. All of these things, she starts having sex with people. She potentially rapes a woman in the bathroom. And that then goes into Suka vision, which is like that scene in the Suckling where they go into the birth canal outside the home, but it's just like cloth and it's all dry and weird. This is like if that scene was done really well. She's in like this fleshy canal where there's hair and just long ropes of internal skin. And slime, and there's hair, like it's coming in through the mouth. It's real special. It is really great.
It really is. It also, there's like this kind of nauseating bluish green tint to everything.
Yeah, everything's bad, but it's in a good way. Like, you're like, wait, are they in pain, or are they in pleasure? It does some stuff. And then she meets a woman who saw the Suka, but then she's like kind of sexually into / sexually afraid of that woman's boyfriend, and also that woman's daughter, and they go to like a whole hillbilly situation, and social unrest happens, and she gets like maybe a little bit date raped by the boyfriend, kind of.
Yeah, and that's the they literally live in a trailer park. It's a total trailer park boys scenario.
Yeah.
And I like that the woman that she goes to visit, her boyfriend or fuck buddy or whatever he is the bartender from the night before, who she walks in on. Yes, getting
nice.
A blowy. Caleb getting a blowy from. I guess it could have been her, maybe, but I'm assuming just a bar patron.
Yeah, just some nice lady.
Yeah, and then we see him in the trailer walk out with his schwantz in full display. Then he comes in with those like tiny boxer briefs and a shirt, and he's the typical like, yeah, babe, you look great. I can see why he wanted to rape you, or whatever the hell he says. It's just like, okay, Caleb, you're a terrible man. You should die very soon.
And she's the perfect woman for him, because she walks out and she's like, I wouldn't shake my hand if I were you on account of I haven't washed it since my love making.
It's so awkward.
Yeah.
My love making.
It's so good. So she gets like really drunk at that nighttime party, and he like kind of like takes her away for them to have sex on an abandoned mattress in the woods, which, woo! And,
romantic.
but then we get that Suka vision going on, and for him it seems to have gone from pleasure into panic, and then she comes to, and he's like wadded up in the fetal position, covered in, wait, let me find the quote, the residue of the megacosm, but it stinks like semen.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And so she just leaves him there. She runs into the daughter of the woman at the trailer, and then they have a special moment. They talk about, like, being the monster, but it's an empowering thing. All kinds of stuff.
She gives our hero a very creepy smile.
Yeah, a creepy transformation-y smile. And it also doesn't make sense because at the very beginning when they see each other, like, she obviously doesn't recognize her, but then now she's like, I totally recognize you from before. And it's just all dumb shit. But good? I don't know.
I think it's just supposed to imply that the Suka is, like, basically ingrained in their world, and that whenever that thing is working its mojo, it just kind of has this weird, like, fluid effect on reality. Like, everybody's in this existing in this strange psychedelic environment because they're being influenced by the presence of this thing.
Oh, nice. That makes some kind of sense, actually.
A little bit, but yeah,
I was having a real hard time following, like, what was who and when in this.
Because, I mean, basically anytime anyone speaks on camera, they end up telling her some story about how they're connected to the Suka in some way. You know, whether it's directly, or in this girl's case, it was her mother that was directly affected. But, you know, maybe it hopped into the sack with her too. I mean, we don't know, or maybe it mega cosmically fucked her too. I have no idea.
Yeah. And it's all very strange. Like, earlier there's the woman whose daughter went into the woods to pee and never came back, and it was the Suka who got her. There's also a lot of stuff with like cheetah print blouses. Like, at one point she's wearing one, and then at another point someone else is wearing one, and so it keeps making these appearances. The magician lady's cape gives her some kind of different powers, whereas the Red Hood gives her different things. Yeah. It's an interesting one. It's all a metaphor for identity and self and journey that I haven't really parsed.
Yeah, and I think it's kind of intentional. I mean, it's supposed to be hallucinatory, but then also have this, you know, different layer to it that's, you know, pretty clearly intentional. It's not like it's a subtext that you know, if you're really clever, you pick up on it or something. I mean, it's pretty obvious what's going on, which is cool. That's what I like about it. I mean, you know, as weird as it is to watch, what it's portraying is, you know, something that, well, other than maybe mega, like, ectogism or whatever, is something that people can relate to.
Absolutely. And I feel like a lot of people can relate to mega cryptogism.
We gotta bottle that.
Yeah, we need a bottle of mega cryptogism.
Kourtney, if you're listening, which you aren't.
Dang. Oh, yeah. Interesting. Very, nice. Okay, I've reframed this movie a little bit in my mind now. Thank you you've made great corrections on this one, sir. Thank you. So,
except for mega cryptogism.
I mean, I feel like that's what it should have been called in the movie.
I had read somewhere that, you know, it was kind of like, a couple different people said that it reminded them of, you know, ectoplasm from the spiritualism movement of the early 20th century. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, I could see that there's this weird excretion or secretion that emits from orifices whenever we contact the other world. It's like, yeah, I guess so, but this is on a whole new level.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, this is laden with a little bit more weight.
This is the pre-cum of the universe.
Oh, shit. Pangismic.
I mean, I feel like we've got a cult going here. Like, we've got the makings.
I'm in.
Yeah. Do sign me up for your newsletter. All right. So this kind of concludes. We've had this first movement of the movie is her figuring out what even anything about stuff, and then the second movement is this one where she's traveling through the lives of all of these different women that have been affected by the Suka. And then we've got this final one where she's like out of everything else. She's running away from the very last thing that she had connecting her to everything else. She even like loses her driver's license and her wallet, and I think the keys to her car, and so like everything that she had that was going on over there is done. So she walks to the only other place that she can think of, the residence of of Morgan Valentine, the place that is supposedly Barb Valentine's house. That's the last clue that she has, and so she goes there, where Morgan opens the door and is like, "Can I help you?" And then he sees her and he's like, "Barb, oh my god." And he welcomes her in. He bathes her, he coos to her, he pampers her, and he says that she has made him such a happy little bunny.
Oh my god, it's so... It's like he thinks he's being, so loving and sweet and affectionate, but it's so obviously just, like, controlling and, just very, very, like, there's so many guys like that who just think that they're, like, this gift to women, but they're just absolutely creepy, and they just possess the women that that are unfortunate enough to get into their realm. He is the embodiment of that. It's amazing.
It's the most creepy thing. Like, this whole movie has been running off of mystery and these great, like, practical effects, horrible snot scenes, and then we just dive into this, and it's so uncomfortable. I can't stand it.
Oh, she's just standing there, and he's like kneeling at her feet and toweling her off, and the whole time you just, it's like, it feels like she should be in control, but he's so controlling and horrible.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna play this wounded animal role, like I'm so tender and sensitive, when all you want to do is control this woman. It's just so, it's awful.
Yeah.
He's so good at it. He's really good at it.
He like, he makes direct eye contact with her vagina while toweling her off. And then stands up and makes her breathe on his face, and then makes her brush her teeth, because he's like, "I thought we agreed that cigarettes and hard liquor don't agree with you."
Oh, man. Just tell me what you want. I'll do anything. It's like, yeah, sure.
Yeah. And then what he makes her get all dressed up fancy, like she's going to, like, church, and then takes her out to the garden where she has to clean up flower petals that have fallen on the ground near, like, the white picket fence, and then the neighbors are there, and everyone is, like, super 1950s preppy, and the neighbors come over, and they're, like, asking about her while she's, like, right there. She sees, like, the woman is, like, pregnant and is rubbing her tummy, but through the slats of the fence she can see that the hand is a giant horrible Suka hand kind of thing. And
that was so cool.
Oh, it was so good. Then after they leave, he's like, "Oh, honey," and all of this stuff, and he's like, "They're having a boy," and she's like, "That means that woman has a penis growing inside of her. It's disgusting. No wonder she looks like she's being eaten from the inside." And he's like, "Oh, honey, no.
Right there. When she said that, I was like, are there any awards we can give these people? Because this is fucking great.
This is so good.
There's a penis growing inside of her. I was like, oh, that's amazing.
She is just like so grossed out. I love it. That was the moment that I realized that I had to pick this movie. Like, up until then, I was like, this is gross, but then I was like, oh, this is amazing. And yeah, it gets going. It gets worse. At dinner, they're drinking wine, and she says that she remembers their honeymoon and how nice that was, but then everything after that has just him being controlling and a complete asshole, and like no matter how like successful she got, he would just like undermine her and like take more and more away from her, and that's why she ran away, and that's why she keeps running away. And then they go to bed, and like she's laying down and he's in the bathroom giving himself a vicious erection, a pre-coitus erection, and she's like looking in there, and you can see his reflection in two mirrors, but then one of his reflections will turn into like a slimy, hairy, like mid-transition werewolf looking spine, and then it'll switch on the other one too, and then he, like, you hear him put on a condom. The sound in this movie is tremendous.
It really is.
And he gets into bed, and he, like, the way that this movie handles sexual assault is like right there at the edge. It's like a trap. It's like the level of sexual assault where like some men will be like, oh, well, I don't think that was sexual assault. That looked like consent to me. And it's, ooh, it's right bad, right in the baddest zone of that. And
she didn't say no.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, and you're just there in the moment with her, feeling her discomfort, and then so he's assaulting her, and we're in that Suka zone where like it's the two of them sliding around within the slimy folds of gray meat, and the hair is in there, and then he's having a great time in there. He just loves it. And then she like jumps off, and like he had taken his condom off, and she gets mad at him, and he says, let me find it. I've got the quote here. He's been a naughty boy and asked, are you going to spank my bum bum?
My widow bum bum.
My widow bum bum. And she gets so mad that she like lunges at him and starts choking him. She's trying to strangle him to death, and he is into it and reaches down and starts jerking off while she's choking him. And so she's just like, oh fuck, and she leaves the room, and he's like, oh
God. He's like the perfect predator. Like when they're in Suka world, and you know he's getting Sukified or whatever. Unlike the other guy who panics and is in pain, it's like he's in the womb. Like this is what he wants. He wants some woman there to protect him so that he can abuse her as much as he likes. You know, it's just like that's his element. It's just that's like, it's amazing. It's so great.
And she had spent all of this time building up this power, you know, like she had exerted that power over the other guy and like left him covered in slime and mewling in the, but here she doesn't have that power. He's literally like just conquering over all of it and able to take it from her, and she fucking hates it. So she goes into the other room. It's her study where she had done all of her Suka research before, and she finds all of these like newspaper clippings about a woman that went missing, and that woman is Kay Hall. And it turns out that Barb Valentine was researching the disappearance of Kay Hall, much like Kay Hall has been disappearing. You know what I mean. And and he comes in still naked and is whining about her not leaving again. We get a great like outside the window shot of her like shoving him and running out the door, and him just standing there like with his wiener shaking as he slaps the sides of his heads in panic. He's the most uncomfortable man. So she gets in the car, he's there, he's trying to stop her, so he like breaks the driver's side window with a crowbar, and then it's like, oh and gets in front of the car, and so she obliterates him with the car, and he falls to the ground, and his guts are squishing out from the side of him, and you can just barely see the edge of them under his wife beater shirt. It's so fucking good. Oh my god.
It's amazing. There's just like this pouch of innards, like just hanging, like barely being contained by his bloody shirt. It was amazing.
It's such a good choice. I would have never have thought to do that. Just, they, so good. Amazing work. It makes me so happy. And then, so he's just down on the ground. He's like, meh, meh. And so she crawls on top of him and retakes the power and, like, rips his tongue out with her hands. And so, like, as her hand is digging into his mouth, we're going into Suka vision. And that's where we're getting the Suka and its teeth and the jism. And then the hair sticking to the teeth because of the jism, and the hands going between all of that. It's disgusting. She rips out his tongue, and then she just spews megacosm all over him. And then she sees the fucking red hooded rain slicker hanging on a peg. She takes off her clothes. She puts that on. She drives off into the night. She breaks into Kay Hall's house, which is like Kay Hall had to flee her house earlier in the movie when some stranger was breaking in. And then she like heads off into Crypto Peak and goes through a portal, which they've been talking about portals all through this movie. End of movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she sees herself on the other side there, standing in the woods, and it was amazing.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. And earlier in the movie, she like almost ran over herself with the car.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Remember when the girl comes up to her in the woods and she's like, "Oh, you're not lost. Don't worry. The parking lot is in that direction. Do you see it?" And she's like, "No." And then she turns and looks, and the camera goes from like in front of her, and now the girl behind her is gone. It's amazing.
Yeah. And that girl was the missing daughter of like Starling North Star or whatever her name was, the lady in the ghillie suit.
Yeah, the girl that that's right. The girl that went to pee in the woods.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I fucking love this movie. I gave it a 666. It is there are slow parts there, but it keeps you going through all of it. It really feels like one of those movies where it's like 4 different kinds of people to enjoy. So there are parts that are slow for me, but I'm sure for other people would be like deeply meaningful and magical. Maybe for ladies, I don't know. And it's almost perfect for me.
Yeah, that's true, actually. You know, it's funny because when we were starting to talk about it, and I had mentioned, that there were some sections, I was particularly talking about the trailer park bit where they were all sitting around having their quote-unquote party. Yeah. And it seemed to the performances just seemed to devolve into like, almost like street trash level, where I was like, wait, I thought these people were good actors. What is happening? But but as you and I talked about the film, I realized like, it just fits the story so well. That whole, the weirdness and the awkwardness and the trailer park boyness, like that absurdity that Canadians love, that kind of absurdity. I think it's like, I don't know, it seems like a callback to like European television and stuff, because they love, like Eurovision and shit. Like that kind of stuff. They know it's like, we think, how could they not know it's so cheesy? They do. They just like it. And so it's like that cheesiness can kind of, that it almost be seen as like some sort of nod to like Canadian culture, like there's this subculture of people that live in trailer parks out in the middle of fucking nowhere, and they talk about, crazy shit like cryptids all the time, and UFOs, and they it's like this weird incestuous co-relationship, and then this strange like kind of tabloid supernatural quality to their imagination, and like that just completely gets honed in on in that scene. And when I think of it like that in that context, it's perfect. So it's like, I mean, I have to give it a 666 too. I need to keep watching that movie because it rewards multiple viewings.
Yeah. Yeah, every time I've watched it, I've caught something new, some little
Yeah.
weird detail, and it's never gotten tiring of,
Yeah.
I'm excited each time.
There's a lot in there, and it's not, but it doesn't feel clogged, you know, and yeah, I mean, it's cool. It's a cool little movie, especially for a first effort. I mean, it's pretty accomplished. And when we start talking about the other things we saw, I will compare it to a first effort I saw that was fucking god awful.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and I think, so this is one that stood out to me. I was looking specifically for things that I would overlook. Like, I was trying to
Yeah.
find something new that was exciting, and the cover for this, it's just the word cryptid, it's spelled stupid, and it's got this, long claw thing on it. And I was like, see, that's the exact kind of movie I would never watch, because it looks like it's gonna be totally ass. And then I watched it, and it was fucking amazing. I feel like the people that marketed this movie have done a terrible job, because no one's talking about this movie. Whenever you see it pop up on any of the streaming services, it is not compelling. It doesn't invite you in. There's no reason to pick this movie over any other movie, and it's fucking great. Like, they've cornered it as this stupid, like, low budget monster movie, and it's not. It's something special, and I feel like people should talk about it more. And the people that are marketing it should probably be fired. Just kidding. I know y'all are just doing your job.
Yeah, I know it's got to be weird for people like that, because I mean, the whole idea is to try to make the film appeal to as many people as possible, so you can get a larger audience and, you know, make money, and then, you know, for the filmmaker, they can go on and make more films because they have a reputation. But if you market a film like this as a creature feature, but you don't, I mean, there is a creature in it, but there's so much more going on that's kind of like it's there, but it misses the mark. Then when somebody who, like, I work with a guy who loves creature features. If I told him to watch this movie, I know he wouldn't like it. You know? And so when you're directing people to this, using that as your way of attracting them, and then they watch the movie, they're going to go tell everybody the movie sucked.
Yeah.
For them, it did suck. So it's like, you gotta, I don't know. It's like you have to kind of accept, look, this is going to be a relatively small movie. You know, it's maybe has a little bit of a niche audience. You know, gore people will love it. They may not.
Oh, yeah.
They may not like the rest of it, but you know, sometimes you just have to kind of admit to yourself, okay, this is not going to be Nightmare on Elm Street. We don't have to, like, sell this to millions. You know, this movie will never appeal to that kind of an audience, and that's fine.
Yeah,
and but that's just not what it is. Yeah, you're right. I mean, that cover image is, you know, yeah, you think it's going to be like a monster stalking some woman through the woods, basically, with like some weird shit in it.
Yeah,
and that's just not it at all. It's not even close to that.
Yeah, it's a disservice is what it is. It's injustice.
I'm tired of it.
It's immoral is what it is.
Someone should write a strongly worded letter.
You're going to hell for that.
A mega jismic hell.
Oh, one big beautiful letter.
Yeah. Sure.
Oh, yeah, why not?
I mean, come on.
What's wrong with you?
Oh, dear lordy.
Good.
Yes?
Okay. Good. John, did you rewatch Steve Miner's House?
I did. I like it a lot better when I'm not watching it to discuss every minute of it in a podcast. Because, you know, we really ripped that movie pretty hard, and probably fairly so. But I when I rewatched it this time, it was more like, oh, I like this movie again. And because I had no, you know, I don't have to, like, you know, I can just kind of turn my brain off and just appreciate that it's this goofy kind of comedy horror that isn't really funny or scary. But, you know, I don't want to get too deep into that.
No.
So, I mean, I just from a personal love it standpoint, I'll just give it, I'll give it a 6.6. I mean, I can't give it a 6.6. I don't love it that much. It kind of has a little nostalgic thing for me. How about you?
I'm the same. It's a 6-6. It was also more enjoyable as the type of movie that you don't pull apart, limb
Yeah.
from limb. Just as the kind of movie, kick back, enjoy it. It's fun, it's silly, it's schlocky, it's nonsense, but, you've got slimy puppet monsters that are good. You've got that tree that pops out of the closet, and, it's fine. It's fine. You've got
Yeah.
that cool demon guy in the dark
Yeah.
room that he climbed down. It's good. It's
You
just
got Norm.
you've got Norm. You've got he's some kind of a horror author. You've got weird Vietnam War flashbacks. It's fine. It's perfectly fine.
You know what? It's fine.
Yeah. Do you need to have
in
something
no
on
way-
the TV? It's there. You go.
Yeah, exactly. It, however, in no way needed a slew of completely unrelated, just pure garbage sequels that, it's like suddenly it's like Beyond the Green Door house.
I will say
Green Door. Green Door is a porn movie. I was just Beyond the Door.
Yeah, Beyond the Green Room.
Correct. Starring Jean-Luc Picard.
Yes. Oh, good. Picardo. Yeah. Roberto Luke Picardo. Good.
Correct.
You
White
got your Star
supremacist and starship leader.
Lover of dogs, hater of people.
Exactly.
Yeah. I also gave it a 6-6. You take your movie to Alvarez, and that movie is Steve Miner's House. No big deal.
Hey, my friend.
Yeah. How much are your computer books?
That will never make sense. How much are your computer books?
It's fine.
Oh my god.
Every
Yeah,
time.
sure.
They're
It's a
different
bookstore.
prices.
Sure.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh, man.
So,
Whew.
next time we're going to revisit Jack Hill's Spider Baby.
Ah, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
I feel like that was when we really started getting going as a podcast.
Yeah, Spider Baby is a whole thing unto itself.
Yes. So, John, other than Steve Miner's House, and
Mhm.
other than Kourtney Roy's Kryptic, what
Yeah.
other than those, not those,
Yeah.
What-
No, not those.
not those, but other than those,
Okay.
what kind of content have you been consuming
I got it. Sorry.
that you want to talk about?
Okay. I kind of resaw.
Yeah.
The first time I watched it, I was kind of like half paying attention, but it's a Irish comedy horror starring Will Forte called Extraordinary, about a woman who is able to communicate with those who have passed on, and she's retired because something terrible happened to her in the line of that work. Her father was also doing this kind of stuff and got her into it. In the meantime, Will Forte is a one-hit pop song wonder in Ireland. He's an American expatriate who is now doing demonic rituals to try to regain his glory because he's having a lot of trouble writing his next record. And
Wow.
their paths cross. And it really silly and typical Will Forte style humor. But I think it's really hilarious, and it really gets kind of like, the language gets a little like disgusting at times, which I think is funny. And then there's just a great line right near the very end that is just takes the movie into genius. But it's just a little Irish comedy horror that isn't great, but I really kind of enjoyed it anyway. That was
Nice.
a fun little movie, Extraordinary. I also watched the Cloverfield Paradox. Which
why?
I had to watch it because it was there. Which was an entirely different movie originally about a bunch of space people doing space things and then going through some sort of time warp that they've opened, a wormhole. And then they just tacked on a little bit of Cloverfieldiness and made it a Cloverfield movie and made it like a big deal and released it on Super Bowl Sunday a few years back. And everyone hated it. And rightfully so, because it's terrible. The space thing might have been entertaining if they kept it, like kind of Event Horizon-y or something, and took out all the Cloverfieldiness, which is completely irrelevant.
Yeah.
But for some reason, they decided that they were going to nix that project. And then, what's-his-nards, the Cloverfield dude, J.J. Abrams, decided that, whoa, what if we make this the next Cloverfield movie? Because I have so much trust in my own series that I've started that I'll take a giant shit on this one. So, yeah, that movie's terrible.
It's so bad. I like the scene where they open up the panel and that person has been transposed, like, Philadelphia experiment style into the panel, and they're like, I guess we have to unhook him from all these cords.
It had some interesting scenes, particularly in the space part. The Cloverfield thing was just, I mean, it plays exactly as it was. It's just tacked on, I mean, it works in a sense, but it also feels very forced, and because it is. So, that movie was a failure.
I watched it when it first came out. I watched it, like, that day, and I don't even remember that it having a not space part. I just remember, basically, that it was bad, and that there was the person in the bulkhead. That's all that I took away from that movie.
The main protagonist, her husband and children are back home on Earth, and she wants to get back to them, but then they go through the wormhole, and she realizes that the woman is, if I remember correctly, she's still back on Earth with the husband and children, and she has to make some sort of decision because she can't really show up on Earth it's just stupid. The whole Earth thing was just tacked on. So fuck that movie. Then I watched a little 2024 release, actually last night, called Please Don't Feed the Children on Tubi.
Yes.
Which was directed by Steven Spielberg's daughter. And Destry Spielberg, I believe her name is. Celebrity name. And it was terrible. It was kind of like a reverse home invasion movie but it takes place during a fungal apocalypse where all the children in America have been rounded up into these internment camps because most of them appear to be immune through most of their childhood. And then if they become symptomatic, it's later. But the problem is they infect adults, so the country is this roaming zombie nightmare, except you never see any roaming zombies because it has nothing really to do with the story at all. It's just a group of kids who have escaped and come across a house in the middle of the New Mexico desert where a British woman who lives like she's on a farm in the Wild West lives, and then it turns out the British woman is evil, and then what's his name shows up, the guy that plays Gus Fring on Breaking Bad, Giancarlo Esposito. He shows up as the sheriff and is on screen for all of about 3 minutes and is completely irrelevant, and then the movie just runs through the motions. Like, it's kind of like Macabre, but way worse. And it's an apocalypse movie with no apocalypse in it. It's like there's a scene where they go to a gas station which is operating, and in the background there's a city, and all the city is lit up, and you keep hearing about roving bands of zombies killing everything in their path. And I'm like, why is there just a fully functional city in the background? There's no explanation. It's like, what the hell, did this woman not learn anything from her father? Fuck. It's terrible. It was really, really bad. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, offensively bad. So, what did you watch?
Jesus Christ. I'm glad, because I thought about watching that movie, and I was like, man, I don't know. Maybe not.
It looks cool. They use this one picture, which is like a 20-second part of the film, where she's in a tub full of, like, entrails and blood, And it's like, oh, okay, gruesome body horror. This is great. But the tub is placed in a basement where there's like a hurricane fence divider right over the middle of the tub. So the only reason that she even goes in the tub is to get away from the only zombie creature you see in the entire movie. And she just crawls through the tub because there's that dividing thing. That's it. And then he immediately bashes the fence down, and that didn't even matter. It's like, why is there a tub full of guts that has nothing to do with anything? It's just there so she could crawl through it. It's the whole movie is that stupid.
Wow, it sounds like they were like, I feel like we could still make some money just by having your name attached, and like, we'll get him for the cover, and we'll get a tub of guts, and then we can just like see how to run together some scenes for an hour, and we'll have a movie. We'll make money off it.
They're all supposed to be children, but one of the, quote, children looks like he's 35. And he's like one of the more dynamic actors, but right away, early on, he gets shot and then spends the rest of the movie bleeding out. So by the end of the movie, he looks like a wraith. He's like pale. And this is like a guy who he's like half African-American looking or something. Like a dark-skinned guy who's suddenly all pale and can barely move. It's like, what? Why would you do that? You create this character and then just take him out for the whole film, and it doesn't matter. Like, just kill him. Why does he have to be there? This is stupid.
Wow. Damn. Yeah. Don't watch, what's it called?
Please Don't Feed the Children.
Ah, okay. Yeah, don't watch.
Which doesn't even make sense. Yeah, terrible. Yeah. How about you?
So I realized that I'd never finished watching the series Legion, so I started rewatching season 1. It's fucking phenomenal. I'm about halfway through season 2 now. It's a 3-season show. Very excited, but if you haven't already watched season 1 of Legion, I highly recommend it. It's got Dan Stevens, Aubrey Plaza, Amber Midthunder, and Jermaine Clement.
Oh, damn. Wow, that actually sounds really good.
Oh, you haven't seen it?
I have not seen it.
So, it's... I'll go ahead and spoil part of it for you. It's Marvel. Like, it's set in the Marvel universe, but it's, like, not Disney Marvel. It's kind of like a between Disney Marvel and fucking, like, X-Men and Daredevil and all that.
Yeah.
And
okay.
It's not very Marvel-y at all.
Yeah.
It's a psychological horror, like, he's a guy that's just in an insane asylum and stuff happens.
I think Chet recommended that to me. I think I just never got around to watching it. It's like on Hulu, I think.
It's on Hulu, yep.
Yeah.
3 seasons, really compelling, really visually stunning.
Cool.
Yeah.
I like Dan Stevens a lot, too.
Yeah, he's great. Aubrey Plaza, it's like the role that she was meant for. It's
she's
perfect.
Great, too.
Yeah.
Cool. Very cool.
Nice. And then I've also been watching Murderbot. It's a new series on Apple TV. It's based on the Martha Wells novels that I love. And it stars Alexander Skarsgård and David Dastmalchian, I think is his name.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's top-notch. It's really funny. And,
Yeah, I work with a guy that... Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I work with a guy that highly recommended it. And usually I like the stuff he recommends. So, and now you've recommended it too, so I'll definitely watch it.
Yeah, it's a comedy. It's a action comedy sci-fi with a surprising amount of like body horror.
I that's cool. I'd never read those Martha Wells books, but of course I'm familiar with them from the bookstore. But like I didn't put 2 and 2 together until he told me, and then I was on the library app the other day looking for, books and stuff, and I just all of a sudden it was like Martha Wells. I know that those books are really short, so it's just like, wow, okay, that's exactly what Chris was talking about. Like, she wrote 1 million books, they're all like 150 pages or whatever, and so yeah, I'm definitely gonna dig into Legion. That's cool.
Yeah, this one's
and Murderbot.
Yeah.
Just wanted to, refresh everyone's memory that I'll also be watching Legion.
Look, we're going to start from the beginning of the list each time.
Yeah. I'm definitely not going to recommend Please don't feed the children.
Please don't watch the movie.
Oh, boy.
And then last night I started watching 9 Perfect Strangers. It's a weird drama on Hulu. It's Nicole Kidman, Melissa McCarthy, Manny Jacinto, and Annie Murphy, and it's by the guy who did The Practice. And
okay.
So far it's real weird. It's like a celebrity wellness retreat where they're gonna fix people. Yeah.
Oh, yes, I saw that. I actually really enjoyed that. It is very weird. It's like White Lotus, but with weirdness, like supernatural weirdness.
Nice. That's what I was hoping for. I'm only 1 episode in, but I was like, I feel like the vibe is going the right way. Plus, it's the best thing I've ever seen Melissa McCarthy in. I feel like she's a good actor, but everything that they, like, cast her in is like, all right, well, we want you to be fat and fall down, please. And, like, this is one where it's actually engaging with her as a professional actor, so I'm happy about that. Yeah,
she does. That's true. I felt the exact same way, and she does a great job in that series. It's good. I think you'll enjoy it.
Hell yeah, that's good. John, can I confess something?
Sure.
I hate Will Forte.
Oh, do you really? Yeah.
Like,
I can see that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch that movie, but every time I see him, I'm just like, oh, this would have been better if it was someone else.
He's in how would I describe it? Like full Will Forte mode in this. He's got like this page boy haircut and this terrible mustache, and he's just like this super like pompous nerd who, you know, thinks that he deserves to have another hit record, and he's willing to abduct young virgins for his demonic sacrifice so that the demon will grant him a second record. It's fucking hilarious. But yes, it's very Will Forte-ish. But he's not the main character. The main character is the woman that's trying to stop him. So,
oh, good, nice.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah, and it's got some great lines in it. They portray her as like this kind of frumpy, you know, overweight lady who is, you know, kind of defeated by life, and then to make a living, she gives driving lessons, and so this guy, his daughter, I think, gets abducted by Will Forte, and so he wants to get his daughter back, and he knows she's got supernatural abilities, so he pretends like he wants her to teach him how to drive.
Nice.
And then they end up having like this kind of budding romance. So that's kind of the main part of the story. But yeah, it's great. They're like driving around, and he's really good, you know. And she's like, "Why don't you try and parallel park?" And he's just like, "Whoop whoop." And she's like, "Okay, well, I guess you passed that."
Nice.
And then he's like, "Let me be honest with you. I didn't come here for your driving, lessons or whatever." And she's like, "Oh no, here we go."
Great.
Oh, that's right. And then that's right. His daughter gets taken later. He keeps being visited by the ghost of his his wife, I guess. And she's like this cigarette smoking total pain in the ass. And like later in the movie, she's possessing him, and he'll flash between himself and his wife's persona. It's fucking hilarious. It's a good movie.
Nice. I'm gonna watch it, and I'll just grit my teeth and bear it whenever he's doing Will Forte stuff.
It is quite Will. I mean, it's not like MacGyver Will Forte level, but it's Will Forte-ish.
MacGyver Will Forte? What does that mean?
He made it wasn't actually MacGyver, but it was like a MacGyver-based character that he used to do on SNL, where it was Will Forte if he was doing MacGyver, but he fucked everything up. You know, he's like,
nice.
What if I use this gum wrapper and this paper clip, and then he starts a fire and they all die?
Nice.
It's like they made a whole typical SNL. They took an idea that barely could sustain a 3-minute sketch and made a 2-hour movie out of it.
Yes. Good.
Like Night at the Roxbury.
Oh God! I see, and that is the exact stuff. I just do not enjoy Saturday Night Live at all. I'm like, there was one good joke, and we had to watch it for 7 minutes to get that one good joke. It's not worth the time. Please just show me the highlight reels and make none of them be from the 21st century.
They made a Pat movie. Like, Pat wasn't even that successful of a sketch, and they made a fucking movie out of it.
Yeah. Not good. Not good. Well, John, in addition to the movie Extraordinary that co-stars Will Forte, what other movie am I and many members of our audience, possibly several members of our audience, going to watch in advance of our next episode in 2 weeks?
Well, yeah, you had mentioned it the other day.
If that's what you're going to do, are you going to do that?
I'm thinking about it. Why? What?
Okay,
what?
So I was going to say, if you were going to do that, we could go ahead and make that be like a joint pick if you wanted. Like, we both agree to watch that, and then the next episode would be your pick again.
Oh, sure. Yeah, we could do that.
Okay.
Works for me.
Hell yeah.
Well, then, yeah, I'll set it up that way, I guess, then. So, yes, I had brought it up in the past and gone on and on about it. And to my surprise, it jumped straight from the theaters onto Prime, like, right away. Because someone at work told me about it. And then, sure enough, you were in the process of watching it. You hadn't finished it yet. Mm-hmm. And I believe your response was, well, I haven't finished it yet, but holy fuck!
I believe those might have been my words, yes.
It's, it's funny because when you praise something so highly to somebody, and you just know, like, oh, he's gonna love it, and then you actually put yourself out there and tell the person, you're gonna love it, and then later you're like, what if he hates it?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, but what if I was so far off the mark that he won't even talk to me anymore?
Yeah.
Like,
we're canceling the show. This is terrible.
It's like, wow, I thought I had some respect for you, but I don't.
Yeah, your taste is beneath me, and you should feel bad about yourself.
But I'm happy to report that was not your reaction.
Not it.
And so, long story short, I went ahead and went with the 2025 release from the Flippilibaloo brothers from Australia. That's of course, Bring Her Back.
Oh, yes.
Yes, that's joint pick, of course. But
picking joints.
I ruined that delivery. But yes, you watched it. It obviously had an effect on you. It's going to make for good discussion because that movie is chock full of shit.
I am going to, on purpose, rewatch The Exorcist before our next recording session, because I haven't seen it since I was like maybe 15, and I was not a very advanced movie viewer at that time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I want to be able to compare them to each other.
Yes, this is, if you wanted to make a new twist on the otherwise exhausted demon possession subgenre, this is one way to do it.
Yeah. Full content warning, this movie is brutal. It is brutal.
Yes, it is.
It does not pull punches. It is agonizing. It is explicit. It is gory. It is hard to watch at times. Like,
it's emotionally intense.
Yeah.
It's got a lot going on.
It is tragic. It is decimating. It, like, deals with emotional trauma explicitly, and then the other ways.
I mean, it's 1000% a horror film, and it's also a film that might make you very sad.
Yeah. So,
like, legitimately break your heart sad.
It might ruin you. So be careful. Be careful with yourself. If you're gonna watch it, be prepared for that. And if you don't feel like you are prepared for that, don't watch it. It's okay. Yeah. We'll tell you all about it.
Yeah, the first review I saw was an Australian girl who went and saw it, and she came out of the theater and immediately recorded her reaction before she went into her review. And she was just like hysterically giddy about it, you know, and she kept talking about how gruesome it was and it might be off-putting for people, but I had the exact same reaction. Like, I was expecting it to be gruesome, and it still shocked me. Shocked me to the point where I was like, I can't believe they had the balls to do that.
Exactly!
You know, like,
it's so cool!
And that didn't just happen one time or for like a second or two. I mean, they really horned in on that shit. It was just like, oh, it's so uncomfortable.
Yeah, they went for it, and like that's why it like I want to be able to compare it accurately to The Exorcist, not just because of the demonic possession element, but because that's also a movie that like, oh no, we're gonna go for it. We're gonna do the thing.
We're gonna film in a refrigerator so everyone is cold.
We're gonna break people's bodies a little.
Yeah, that's right. We're gonna throw grown women around with abandon.
Yeah, we're gonna traumatize child actors for life.
Oh, man. Yeah, no kidding. Woo, it's gonna be fun to talk about that one.
It's gonna be good. So tune in 2 weeks from now. Bring your emotional well-being with you, because you're not gonna find any spares laying around on the next episode of Loathsome Things, a horror movie podcast, and that'll be episode 112.
112. And, as always, we're sorry you all have to die.